Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm going to tell you about an influential ruler of Arabia at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. In the 6th year after the Hijrah, the Prophet ﷺ decided to expand his mission. He sent letters to the rulers in the Arabian peninsula and surrounding areas inviting them to Islam. One of these rulers was Thumāmah ibn Uthāl. Thumāmah was one of the most powerful Arab rulers of al-Yamamah, whose word no one dared to challenge or disobey. When Thumāmah received the Prophet's letter, he was consumed by anger and rejected it. He felt a strong desire to kill the Prophet and bury his mission with him. In the pursuit of his evil desire against the Prophet, Thumāmah killed a group of the Prophet's companions. The Prophet thereupon declared him a wanted man who could be killed lawfully on sight. Not long afterwards, Thumāmah decided to perform Umrah. He wanted to perform tawaf around the kaaba and sacrifice to the idols there. So he left al-Yamamah for Makkah. As he was passing near Medina, a group of patrolling Muslims apprehended him, considering him a threat. But they did not know who he was. They took him to Medina and tied him up to one column of the mosque. They waited for the Prophet himself to question the man. When the Prophet saw Thumāmah, he asked his companions, "Do you know whom you've taken?" "No, messenger of God," they replied. "This is Thumāmah," he said. "You have done well in capturing him." The Prophet then returned home to his family and said, "Get what food you can and send it to Thumāmah ibn Uthāl." He then ordered his camel to be milked for him. All this was done before he met Thumāmah or had spoken to him. The Prophet then approached Thumāmah, hoping to encourage him to become a Muslim. "What do you have to say for yourself?" he asked. "If you want to kill me in revenge," Thumāmah replied, "you are welcome to kill me. If out of your bounty you want to forgive, I shall be grateful. If you want money in compensation, I shall give you whatever amount you ask." The Prophet then left him for 2 days, but still personally sent him food and milk from his camel. The Prophet went back to him and asked, "What do you have to say for yourself?" Thumāmah repeated what he had said the day before. The Prophet then left and came back to him the following day. "What do you have to say for yourself?" he asked again, and Thumāmah repeated what he had said once more. Then the Prophet turned to his companions and said, "Set him free." Thumāmah left the mosque of the Prophet and rode until he came to a palm grove on the outskirts of Medina. He watered his camel and washed himself well. Then he turned back and made his way to the Prophet's mosque. There he stood before a congregation of Muslims and said, "I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his servant and his messenger." He went to the Prophet ﷺ and said, "O Muhammad, by God, there was never on this earth a face more detestable than yours. Now yours is the dearest face of all to me. I have killed some of your men," he continued. "I am at your mercy. What will you have done to me?" "There is no blame on you, Thumāmah," replied the Prophet. "Becoming a Muslim obliterates past actions and marks a new beginning." Relieved, he went on, "When I was captured, I was on my way to perform Umrah. What do you think I should do now?" "Go ahead and perform your Umrah," replied the Prophet. but perform it according to the laws of Allah and His Messenger. The Prophet then taught him how to perform Umrah according to the Islamic rules. Thumāmah left to fulfill his intentions, shouting the talbiyah, Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik. He was thus the first Muslim pilgrim on the face of the earth to enter Makkah, reciting the talbiyah from Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Thumāmah radiallahu anhu spent the rest of his life in the service of his religion. What do I learn from this story? What do you think brought a change in Thumāmah's heart? Wasn't it perhaps the gentle manners of the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba that frequented the mosque? Their unity in congregation, prayers and chanting praises of Allah? Prophet Muhammad said, the best among you are those who have the best manners and characters. It makes me ponder, is the Ummah of the Prophet at its best behavior today? Is the Ummah united? What did you learn? I hope you enjoyed Ramadan with the Sahabas. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ya Allah, help us fight the evil within, Ya Allah. With your help we know we will win, Ya Allah. Our hope in you is firm and strong. You promise when we ask that you will answer our call.